Old Iron. One day, James had to wait at Edward's station till Edward and his train came in. This made him cross. He shouted out, "Late again, late again!" But Edward only laughed. And James fumed away. "Edward is impossible. He clanks about like a lot of old iron, and he's so slow he makes us wait." One day, James' driver felt ill, and so the fireman drove the train to the next station. He spoke to the signalman, put the trucks in a siding, and uncoupled James ready for shunting. Then he helped the driver over to the station and asked them to look after him and find a relief driver. Suddenly, the signalman shouted, and the fireman turned round and saw James puffing away on his own. He ran as fast as he could, but he couldn't catch James, and soon came back to the signal box. The signalman was busy stopping all the trains. All traffic halted, up and down lines are clear for 30 miles, and the inspector's coming. The fireman mopped his face. What happened? What happened? The signalman said, "Well, I saw it all. Two boys climbed onto James's footplate. I shouted at them, and when James started, they tumbled off and ran like rabbits. Well, just let me catch them, that's all. Just let me catch them. I'll teach them to meddle with my engine." Then the telephone rang, and the signalman answered. "Yes, yes. He's here, yes. Right. I'll tell him then. Yes, yes. The inspector's coming at once in Edward, and he wants a shunter's pole and a coil of wire rope." "What for?" "Well, search me, but you'd better get them quickly." The fireman was ready and waiting with the pole and rope when Edward and the inspector arrived. "Ah, good man. Come along, jump in. Off we go, Edward. We've got to catch him." Edward puffed off. "Shh, shh, 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 shh. Don't worry, we'll catch him. Shh, 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 shh. Don't worry, we'll catch him. Shh, 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 shh. Don't worry, we'll catch him. Shh, 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 shh." And Edward crossed to the up line in hot pursuit. When James left the yard, he was chuckling to himself. What a lark, what a lark. But presently he missed his driver's hand on the regulator, and then he realized that there was no one in his cab. "What shall I do? What shall I do? I can't stop. I can't stop. Help! Help! Help!" But Edward came panting up behind him with every ounce of steam he had. "We're coming! We're coming! We're coming!" With a great effort, he caught up and crept alongside, slowly gaining till his smoke box was level with James's buffer beam. The inspector stood on Edward's front, holding a noose of rope in the crook of the shunter's pole. He was trying to slip it over James's buffer. The engines swayed and lurched. "Steady, Edward! Steady, Edward!" He tried again, and more than once. He nearly fell, but just saved himself. And then at last, got him. He pulled the noose tight and came back to the cab safely. Gently braking so as not to snap the rope, Edward's driver checked the engine's speed, and James's fireman scrambled across and took control, and the two engines puffed back side by side. Edward was very pleased with himself. So old iron caught you after all, James, eh? Oh, I'm sorry, Edward. Thank you for saving me. Oh, that's all right. You were splendid, Edward. The Fat Controller was waiting, and thanking the men warmly, he said, "A fine piece of work. A fine piece of work." The two naughty boys were soon caught by the police, and their fathers walloped them soundly. They were also forbidden to watch trains till they could be trusted. James's driver soon got well in hospital and is now back at work. James missed him very much, but he missed Edward more, and you'll be glad to know that when Edward came home the other day, James and all the other engines gave him a tremendous welcome. The Fat Controller thinks he'll be deaf for weeks.